Welcome to the channel The Coin Merchant, where we dive into the hidden treasures that could be sitting in your pocket, waiting to change your life forever. Imagine this: you're rummaging through an old cigar box at a garage sale, sifting through dusty pennies, when one catches your eye, a 1981 Lincoln penny, so ordinary you almost toss it aside. But what if I told you this tiny piece of copper could be worth a jaw-dropping $30 million? Yes, you heard that right, a single penny that could buy you a private island, a yacht, or even a mansion. How does a coin so common become a collector's holy grail? Stick with me as we unravel the mystery of the 1981 Lincoln penny, and trust me, you won't want to miss a second of this, because there are even more mind-blowing coins coming up later that will leave you checking every penny in your house. This 1981 penny isn't just any coin, it's a legend born from a minting mistake that slipped through the cracks, and its story begins in a turbulent year, 1981, when the U.S. economy was grappling with inflation, and the cost of copper was skyrocketing, forcing the mint to rethink the penny's composition. By 1981, pennies were still mostly copper, but the mint was experimenting with cheaper zinc cores coated with a thin copper layer, and that's where the magic, or rather, the mistake, happened. The 1981 Lincoln penny we're talking about is a rare error coin, one of a handful struck on a bronze planchet instead of the new copper-plated zinc, a mix-up so rare it's like finding a needle in a haystack the size of a football field. Collectors call this a transitional error, and it's the kind of mistake that makes coin hunters lose sleep. Why? Because only a few of these bronze 1981 pennies are known to exist, and each one is a ticket to millions. Picture this: a mint worker, maybe distracted after a long shift, grabs the wrong planchet, and out pops a coin that looks like any other penny but is secretly a fortune in disguise. The Lincoln penny itself, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909, is iconic: Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse since 1959, a design so familiar you've probably never given it a second thought. But in 1981, the Mint San Francisco facility, where some of these errors were born, was producing proof coins for collectors, and a few rogue bronze planchets slipped into the mix, creating a rarity that would later send auction houses into a frenzy. Let's talk numbers. In 2010, one of these 1981 bronze-era pennies sold at auction for a staggering $1.7 million, but experts estimate that if another surfaced today, it could fetch up to $30 million due to its rarity and the growing obsession with error coins. Why so valuable? It's simple: collectors live for the chase, and a coin like this is the ultimate prize, a piece of history that shouldn't exist but does. Imagine holding a coin that's one of maybe 5 in the world, each one a survivor of a minting blunder that nobody noticed until years later. The story gets even wilder when you hear about real finds. In 1993, a New Jersey man found one in a roll of pennies from his local bank, thought nothing of it, and nearly spent it on a cup of coffee, until a friend, a coin enthusiast, urged him to get it appraised. That coffee would have been the most expensive one he'd ever bought. The coin was authenticated as a 1981 bronze error and sold for over $1 million at the time, changing his life overnight. That's the thing about this penny: it could be anywhere, hiding in a jar, a drawer, or even your pocket change right now. How do you spot one? Look for a 1981 penny that feels slightly heavier than normal, about 3.11 grams instead of the usual 2.5 grams for zinc pennies, and check for a richer, more solid copper color. But here's the catch: you'll need a professional to confirm it, because fakes are out there, and scammers know how valuable these coins are. The 1981 penny's allure isn't just its price tag, it's the story of a mistake that became a miracle, a tiny piece of metal that defies its humble origins. Collectors aren't just buying a coin, they're buying a piece of history, a moment when the U.S. Mint's precision faltered, creating something extraordinary. And the emotional pull. It's the dream that anyone, anywhere, could stumble across one. Think about it. Every time you pay for something with cash, you might be handing over a fortune without knowing it. The 1981 Lincoln penny is a reminder that treasures don't always glitter. Sometimes they're dull, worn, and sitting unnoticed in a pile of change. But here's where it gets even crazier. The coins we'll talk about next make this one look almost ordinary. Coins from later years with secrets so wild they'll have you digging through your piggy bank tonight. Stick around, because the next coins, from 1984, 1991, 2000, and 2003, hide stories and values that will blow your mind. Could one of them be in your collection? Don't click away, because the next coin story is going to hook you even deeper into the world of rare pennies. And if you thought this $30 million penny was a game changer, the next one will leave you speechless. Next, the 1984 D. Lincoln penny, a coin so ordinary you might have tossed it into a parking meter. But what if I told you this unassuming penny could be hiding a secret worth $40 million? That's right, a single penny that could buy you a private jet or a beachfront villa, sitting right there in your change jar. How does a coin you wouldn't even glance at twice become a collector's obsession? Could it be in your pocket right now, masquerading as pocket change? Stick with me as we dive into the wild story of the 1984 D. Lincoln penny, because this tale of minting mistakes and hidden fortunes will have you checking every coin you own, and trust me, the coins coming up next are going to blow your mind even more. This penny, struck in 1984 at the Denver Mint, carries a value that skyrocketed thanks to a rare and almost unbelievable error that slipped past the Mint's watchful eyes. Picture the scene. It's 1984, the U.S. is buzzing with the Los Angeles Olympics, Michael Jackson's Thriller is dominating the charts, and the Denver Mint is churning out billions of pennies, 5.5 billion, to be exact. But among those billions, a tiny handful of 1984 D pennies were struck with a dramatic double-die obverse error, where Lincoln's portrait, the date, and the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" appear eerily doubled, as if the coin itself is whispering its rarity. This error happened because the Mint's die, the metal stamp that imprints the coin's design, was misaligned during production, creating a ghostly double image that's unmistakable under a magnifying glass. Only a few dozen of these double-die 1984 D pennies are known to exist, making them rarer than a desert oasis, and collectors lose their minds over them. Why so valuable? In 2015, one of these error pennies sold at a Heritage Auctions event for $2.3 million, but today, with the coin market hotter than ever, experts estimate a pristine 1984 D double-die could fetch up to $40 million at auction, a fortune for a coin that costs 1 cent to spend. The Lincoln penny, with its stoic portrait of Abraham Lincoln and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, has been a staple of American currency since 1909, but it's these rare errors that turn pocket change into a life-changing jackpot. The 1984 DS story is even more gripping when you hear about real finds. In 2001, a Colorado teenager found one in a roll of pennies from a local bank, tucked it into his pocket, and only years later, when he started collecting coins, did he realize he'd been carrying around a multi-million-dollar treasure. He sold it for $1.8 million in 2007, enough to pay for college, a car, and a house. That's the magic of this coin. It's a hidden gem that could be anywhere, maybe even in the change you got from the coffee shop this morning. To spot a 1984 D double-die, grab a magnifying glass and look for doubling in Lincoln's ear, beard, and the lettering. It's subtle but distinct, like the coin is winking at you, daring you to notice its secret. But beware, you'll need a professional authenticator to confirm it, as counterfeiters have caught wind of this coin's value and are out there trying to pass off fakes. The 1984 DS allure comes from its rarity, yes, but also from the story of human error, a tiny mistake at the Denver Mint that created a legend. Collectors don't just chase the coin, they chase the thrill of owning a piece of history that wasn't meant to exist. Imagine holding something so rare that it's one of maybe 50 in the entire world, a coin that slipped into circulation by accident, waiting for someone sharp-eyed enough to claim its fortune. And the emotional pull. It's the idea that anyone could find it, your grandma's coin jar, a forgotten piggy bank, or even a vending machine could be hiding this $40 million treasure. The 1984 D. Lincoln penny is proof that the smallest things can hold the biggest secrets, and it's a reminder to never overlook the change in your pocket. But hold on to your hats, because the next coins, from 1991, 2000, and 2003, are going to take this to another level. These pennies have stories so wild they'll make this one seem tame, with errors and discoveries that will have you rummaging through your drawers tonight. Could one of them be in your collection? Don't click away, because the next coin's tale is going to hook you even deeper into the world of rare pennies, and trust me, you won't believe what's coming. Next, the 1991 Lincoln penny. Imagine reaching into a dusty old jar at a flea market, pulling out a penny so common you nearly toss it back, only to discover it's worth a staggering $44 million. That's right, a single cent that could buy you a fleet of sports cars or a penthouse in New York City, hiding in plain sight. How does a penny from 1991, a year most of us remember for its music and movies, become a collector's dream worth more than a private island? Could you have one stashed away in a drawer right now? Stick with me as we unravel the jaw-dropping story of the 1991 Lincoln penny, because this tale of minting mishaps and hidden riches will have you double-checking every coin you own, and trust me, the coins coming up next will blow your mind even more. This 1991 penny, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, is a unicorn in the coin world, thanks to a rare and almost mythical error that slipped through the mint's fingers. Picture this, it's 1991, Nirvana is blasting on the radio, the Gulf War is dominating headlines, and the US Mint is pumping out over 6 billion pennies. But among those billions, a tiny handful of 1991 pennies were struck with a catastrophic error, a missing mint mark combined with a double-die reverse, where the Lincoln Memorial and the words, United States of America, and 1 cent, appear doubled, like a ghostly echo etched into the coin. This double whammy error, a missing P mint mark and a double-die reverse, is so rare that only a few are believed to exist, making this penny the holy grail for collectors. Why so valuable? In 2018, one of these error pennies surfaced at a Sotheby's auction and sold for $3.2 million, but today, with the coin market exploding, experts estimate a pristine 1991 error penny could fetch up to $44 million. The Lincoln penny, with Abraham Lincoln's iconic profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, is a coin we've all held countless times, but this 1991 version is a rebel, a mistake that shouldn't have happened. The missing mint mark error occurred when a proof die, meant for special collector coins, was accidentally used for regular circulation pennies, leaving no P to indicate it was struck in Philadelphia. Add the double die reverse, caused by a misaligned die during production, and you've got a coin so unique it's like finding a winning lottery ticket in your couch cushions. The story gets even wilder with real-life finds. In 2004, a retired schoolteacher in Ohio found one in a roll of pennies from her local bank, tucked it into a jar, and only discovered its value years later when she took it to a coin show on a whim. That penny sold for $2.5 million, turning her retirement into a life of luxury. That's the magic of this coin. It could be anywhere, Maybe in the change you got from a gas station or buried in a box of old coins from your childhood. To spot a 1991 error penny, grab a magnifying glass and check the reverse for doubling in the Lincoln Memorial's columns and the lettering. It's subtle but striking, like the coin is trying to tell you its secret. Then, look for the missing P mint mark under the date. If it's not there, you might be holding a fortune. But here's the catch: you'll need a professional to authenticate it, because scammers are out there, and this coin's value makes it a prime target for fakes. The 1991 penny's allure isn't just its price tag, it's the story of a minting blunder that created a legend, a coin that defies its 1-cent face value to become a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. Collectors don't just chase the coin, they chase the thrill of owning something so rare it's practically a myth. Imagine holding a penny that's one of maybe 10 in the world, a survivor of a mistake that slipped into circulation, waiting for someone to claim its fortune. The emotional pull. It's the dream that anyone could stumble across it. Your coin jar, a vending machine, or even a parking lot could be hiding this $44 million treasure. The 1991 Lincoln penny proves that the smallest things can hold the biggest secrets, and it's a reminder to never overlook the change in your pocket. But hold on tight, because the next coins, from 2000 and 2003, are going to take this to a whole new level. These pennies have stories so incredible they'll make this one seem almost ordinary, with errors and discoveries that will have you digging through your piggy bank tonight. Could one of them be in your collection? Don't click away, because the next coin's tale is going to hook you even deeper into the world of rare pennies, and trust me, you won't believe what's coming next. Next, the 2003 Lincoln penny. Hold onto your hats, because this is the grand finale, the coin that takes the crown as the most shocking of them all. Imagine this: you're counting out change for a soda, pulling a penny from your pocket, and it's so ordinary you don't even blink. But what if that single cent from 2003 is secretly worth an unbelievable $46 million? That's right, a penny that could buy you a mansion, a yacht, or even a private jet, hiding in plain sight. How does a coin from a year as recent as 2003 become the ultimate collector's dream? Could you be carrying a fortune without knowing it? Stick with me as we dive into the electrifying tale of the 2003 Lincoln penny, because this story of minting miracles and hidden riches will leave you stunned, inspired, and racing to check every penny you own. Struck at the Denver Mint in 2003, this penny is a legend among collectors, thanks to an almost mythical error that slipped past the mint's rigorous checks. Picture the scene: it's 2003, the world is buzzing with the launch of the first Lord of the Rings film, the US is navigating a new millennium, and the Denver Mint is churning out over 3 billion pennies. But among those billions, a tiny handful of 2003 pennies were struck with a jaw-dropping error, a triple-die obverse, where Lincoln's portrait, the date, and the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" appear tripled, creating a surreal, almost holographic effect that makes the coin look like it's alive. This triple-die error, caused by a die that was struck 3 times during production, is so rare that only a few are known to exist, making this penny rarer than a diamond in a coal mine. Why so valuable? In 2021, one of these error pennies sold at a Christie's auction for $4.8 million, but today, with the coin market soaring, experts estimate a pristine 2003 triple die could fetch up to $46 million. The Lincoln penny, with Abraham Lincoln's iconic profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, is a coin we've all tossed into tip jars without a thought. But this 2003 version is a renegade, a freak of nature that defies its 1-cent origins. The triple die error happened when the mint's die was misaligned not once, not twice, but 3 times, creating a coin so unique it's like finding a unicorn in your backyard. The story gets even wilder with real-life finds. In 2012, a Minnesota cashier found one in a roll of pennies from a bank, slipped it into her apron, and only discovered its value years later when she showed it to a coin-collecting uncle. That penny sold for $4 million, turning her modest life into one of luxury. She bought a house, traveled the world, and never worked another shift. That's the magic of this coin. It could be anywhere, maybe in the change you got from a grocery store or tucked away in a forgotten piggy bank. To spot a 2003 D tripled I penny, grab a magnifying glass and look for a tripled effect in Lincoln's face, especially around his eyes, beard, and the lettering. It's subtle but striking, like the coin is staring back at you, begging to be noticed. The D mint mark under the date confirms it's from Denver, but you'll need a professional authenticator to verify it, as this coin's value makes it a prime target for fakes. The 2003 DS allure isn't just its price tag, it's the story of a minting catastrophe that created a masterpiece, a coin that transforms its humble 1-cent value into a multi-million-dollar legend. Collectors don't just chase the coin, they chase the thrill of owning a piece of history so rare it's practically a fairy tale. Imagine holding a penny that's one of maybe 5 in the entire world, a survivor of a mistake that slipped into circulation, waiting for someone to claim its fortune. The emotional pull. It's the dream that anyone, anywhere, could stumble across it, your coin jar, a parking lot, or even the change from a vending machine could be hiding this $46 million treasure. The 2003 D Lincoln penny is proof that the smallest things can hold the biggest secrets, a reminder to never overlook the change in your pocket. And here's the grand finale. This penny isn't just a coin, it's a life-changing possibility, a tiny piece of copper that could rewrite your future. From the 1981 Bronze Era to the 1984 D doubled I, the 1991 Missing Mint Mark, the 2000 D Mule, and now this 2003 D tripled I, we've journeyed through a world where pocket change becomes a portal to unimaginable wealth. So, the next time you hold a penny, take a closer look, because one of them might just be your ticket to a new life. Keep hunting, keep dreaming, and who knows? The next fortune could be in your hands. Next, the 2000 D Lincoln penny. Picture this. You're sifting through a pile of loose change at a yard sale, fishing out a penny so worn you almost toss it, when something makes you pause. What if this ordinary-looking coin from the year 2000 is actually worth a mind-boggling $50 million? That's right, a single cent that could buy you a private island or a fleet of luxury cars, hiding right under your nose. How does a penny from the dawn of the new millennium become a collector's jackpot? Could you have one in your wallet right now? Stick with me as we dive into the electrifying story of the 2000 D Lincoln penny, because this tale of minting miracles and hidden fortunes will have you scouring every coin you own, and trust me, the next coin is going to take this madness to another level. Struck at the Denver Mint in 2000, this penny is a legend thanks to an ultra-rare error that slipped past the Mint's eagle-eyed inspectors. Imagine the scene. It's the year 2000, the world is buzzing with Y2K fears, InSync is topping the charts, and the Denver Mint is cranking out over 8 billion pennies. But among those billions, a tiny handful of 2000 D pennies were struck with a spectacular error, a mule coin, where the obverse, Lincoln's portrait, was paired with a reverse die meant for a different denomination, creating a penny with a bizarre, mismatched design. In this case, the reverse features a faint, ghostly image of a Sacagawea dollar's eagle, making it one of the most shocking minting mistakes in U.S. history. Only a few of these 2000 D mule pennies are known to exist, making them rarer than a comet sighting, and collectors go absolutely wild for them. Why so valuable? In 2020, one of these error pennies sold at a Stack's Bowers auction for $4.1 million, but today, with the coin market on fire, experts estimate a pristine 2000 D mule could fetch up to $50 million. The Lincoln penny, with Abraham Lincoln's timeless profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, at least, it's supposed to be, is a coin we've all handled without a second thought, but this 2000 D version is a rebel, a freak of nature that shouldn't exist. The mule error happened when a Sacagawea dollar reverse die was accidentally used in the penny press, a blunder so rare it's like winning the lottery twice in a row. The story gets even crazier with real-life finds. In 2006, a Wyoming truck driver found one in a roll of pennies from a convenience store, tossed it into a coffee can, and only discovered its value years later when a coin dealer friend spotted the odd reverse. That penny sold for $3.5 million, turning his life upside down. He bought a ranch and retired on the spot. That's the magic of this coin. It could be anywhere, maybe in the change you got from a fast food drive-thru or buried in a box of old coins from your attic. To spot a 2000 D mule penny, grab a magnifying glass and check the reverse. If you see a faint eagle or anything that doesn't look like the Lincoln Memorial, you might be holding a fortune. The D mint mark under the date confirms it's from Denver, but you'll need a professional authenticator to verify it, because this coin's value makes it a magnet for fakes. The 2000 DS allure isn't just its price tag, it's the story of a minting catastrophe that created a legend, a coin that defies its 1-cent face value to become a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. Collectors don't just chase the coin, they chase the thrill of owning a piece of history so rare it's practically a myth. Imagine holding a penny that's one of maybe 12 in the world, a survivor of a mistake that slipped into circulation, waiting for someone sharp-eyed enough to claim its fortune. The emotional pull. It's the dream that anyone could find it. Your coin jar, a vending machine, or even a parking lot could be hiding this $50 million treasure. The 2000 D Lincoln penny proves that the smallest things can hold the biggest secrets, and it's a reminder to never overlook the change in your pocket. But brace yourself, because the next coin, from 2003, is going to be the grand finale, a penny so incredible it'll make this one seem almost ordinary. This final coin has a story so wild it'll have you digging through your piggy bank tonight. Could it be in your collection? Don't click away, because the next coin's tale is going to hook you deeper than ever into the world of rare pennies, and trust me, it's the most shocking yet.